Chapter 63:38. Hank said, "But Your Majesty, I personally suggest that you don't just ask it questions. This is too easy for this tool. Its real ability is to retrieve massive amounts of information and process massive amounts of calculations. You should have known before that our new version already supports AI-generated videos. But that kind of video is also produced under the condition of relatively dispersed computing power. You have 100% of the computing power of this system. So you can make more demanding tasks here." Helena thought for a while and said, "I want it to retrieve all the surveillance videos from the time I came in until now, and then erase me from the video without a trace." Hank nodded, pressed the dialog button directly, and said, "Please erase the image of Queen Iliad from all the surveillance videos from the time she came in until now." The system prompt said, "The facial features of Queen Iliad have been compared in the surveillance video and are being processed." Almost at the same time, the cabinets around everyone suddenly emitted an extremely sharp whistling sound. It was the high-speed whistling sound produced by the cooling fans running at full speed in an instant. Just like the sound of the engine running at maximum thrust when an airplane takes off. What's even more incredible is that almost at this moment, the temperature of the entire hangar rose instantly. Every opportunity was like a huge electric heater, generating a lot of heat energy in an instant. Then the cooling system of the entire computer room was also activated, and the noise became even louder. The whistling sound of the heat dissipation lasted for about 3 minutes. And then the system prompted, "Task processing completed." From the time Queen Iliad entered the door to now, a total of 36 surveillance cameras have captured her. And a total of 367 minutes and 12 seconds of video files have been generated, totaling 528,768 frames of images, including 343,658 frames of images containing her image, which have all been processed. The 36 videos after processing have been pushed and sorted from long to short according to the length of Queen Iliad's appearance. After that, a 6x6 zoom screen immediately appeared on the huge screen. Each screen represents a video. The first one was the surveillance camera facing the entrance of the main console. The system said to sort by the length of Helena's appearance. This camera happened to capture Helena throughout the whole process without losing a frame. Hank immediately said, "Play the first video." The system replied, "Okay, start playing the first video." Then, the video automatically maximized, and everyone looked up at the huge ultra-clear screen, watching a group of people coming in from the entrance. But Helena, who was originally walking in the front, was missing. What's more terrifying is that the system not only perfectly erased her from the screen, but also relied on its own powerful computing power to perfectly fill in the blank screen after she was erased. The part of the person who was originally blocked by her behind has been completely automatically calculated and filled by AI. And because of its powerful computing power as a foundation, this part has been filled very perfectly. For example, in a certain frame, Charlie, who was wearing a mask, was originally blocked by Helena's face. The camera only captured his body, but AI clearly determined his position in the crowd and locked his movement trajectory from it. It directly learned his appearance wearing a mask from the picture where his face was not blocked, and then generated Charlie's face wearing a mask based on the learned appearance, and filled it in the picture where Helena was erased. In this way, all the areas where Helena was erased were perfectly filled, and the entire video could no longer tell that there was originally another person here. Just when everyone was jaw-dropping, an even more magical scene appeared. Simon Rothschild, like a very professional actor, ran quickly in front of everyone and kissed in the air. All the pictures related to Helena, no matter how complex the composition was, even if the subject was multiply obscured and the people and objects behind it, AI was able to process them so that there was almost no visible trace. Charlie was horrified, and Duncan on their side was even more shocked. He whispered in Charlie's ear with a trembling voice, "This thing is astonishingly powerful. This not only proves that its ability to process and generate videos is very strong, but also proves that it can perfectly find information related to people from the database and immediately identify it. That Hank asked it to erase the Queen, and it used its own database to distinguish the Queen from us. If we use it to find people in the future, it will be very convenient. Just give it a large amount of video and face data, and it can find this person from the large amount of video and the large amount of faces. Charlie suddenly thought of something and said, "It can recognize Helena and erase her? If I ask it to replace Helena with other celebrities, it will definitely be fine." As he said that, he walked to Helena's ear and whispered a few words. Helena nodded and smiled. "This is an interesting idea." After that, she looked at Hank and said, "Let her replace all the me in the video with Mr. Simon." Simon was stunned and thought, "Replace you with me? Isn't that the same as kissing my own hand? It's quite disgusting." Hank turned to look at Simon and asked for his opinion with his eyes. Simon also gave it a try and nodded and said, "Follow the instructions of Her Majesty the Queen." "Okay, Mr. Rothschild." Hank pressed the dialogue button again and relayed Helena's order to the system. It seems that with the amount of calculations processed last time as a foundation, the processing this time is relatively faster. In just 2 minutes, the system completed all the processing work and pushed the video sorting to the screen. Hank asked it to play the first one. In an instant, Queen Helena originally walked into the door with high spirits turned into the elderly and somewhat slow Simon Rothschild. The most surprising thing was that Simon, with his back to the camera, knelt on one knee and kissed her hand facing the camera. Helena said at this time, "This angle can only see the back of the real Mr. Rothschild. Why not switch to another camera? I want to see the real Mr. Rothschild and the profile of Mr. Rothschild generated by AI at the same time." Hank immediately gave the order, and AI immediately chose the other end to play the video. In this video, 2 old men who look exactly the same meet each other. The old man on the left looks attentive and flattering, while the old man on the right looks arrogant. Then the old man on the left kneels down on one knee, gently holds the hand of the old man on the right, and kisses the back of his hand. Everyone who sees this scene subconsciously makes an embarrassed and disgusting expression. And even Simon himself gets goosebumps from the disgust. However, while everyone is disgusted, they are also deeply shocked by the processing power of this AI system. Duncan couldn't help but murmur, "Oh my God, this thing is really powerful. If Hollywood gets hands such a thing, I don't know how many people would be unemployed." Charlie was also very excited and couldn't help laughing in a low voice. "This is too expensive. The cost of AI models and hardware alone is tens of billions of dollars. And the cost of data centers is nearly 10 billion. Not to mention that their parent company relies on this model to make a living and wants to rely on this to become a trillion-dollar company. It's impossible to sell such a thing to Hollywood." Duncan suppressed his excitement and whispered to Charlie, "We are really doing great this time.